about $6,000 a month, which is the average salary of a software developer. Hi and welcome, dear friends, TechCheckers. Today we have a very important topic: how to make money with code. Check it out. When I was a pupil, I got about 15 to 40 euros an hour. This is about $18 to $45, $48 per hour. About $6,000 a month, which is the average salary of a software developer, or half the average salary of freelancers. This is because freelancers usually have a lot of costs that they have to pay themselves, like their own office. I want to show you 3 possibilities where you can really earn money with code as a software developer. The thing is, if you are new to programming, then nobody will give you some money for it. In order to help you and to achieve the greatness and get some money from your passion, there are several rules, several possibilities. Number 1, be a freelancer or a contractor. If you love the freedom of being your own boss, earning your own money, most of your things that you buy are actually tax deductible, like your hardware, your software, all the courses that you have to take. The average salary of a freelancer is about 80 euros per hour. In Germany. In the US it's probably a bit more, because in the US you have a lot higher housing costs than in Germany. But how do you start being a freelancer? There are official portals like freelancer.com,
Upwork,
Fiverr. I would not encourage you to use those portals because they are totally full and filled with scams. Sometimes there are projects where it says, create me a computer game with spaceships for $20 or debug my software for $80, and you don't even know what software it is. It could take you weeks and months and you don't know. So there's a lot of crap out there, and you shouldn't go to freelancer.com or these things. Especially if you are a beginner. Then at first you need to learn how to code and how to do projects. So better do it like all the other founders out there. Ask your friends and family. Ask them if you could help them out and if you could spend some time in their company and find a project. Maybe they already give you some project that you then can put into your CV, and with this project you can then apply to other projects, to real paid projects. Being an intern is also a very good recommendation. So if you find some company that takes you as an intern now, where you can learn how to program, maybe they give you even some Udemy courses or something that you can do, that you can learn from, this would be awesome. This is the best way. When I was young, there was a lot of competition. I was making 7 3D presentations when I was like 14 years old or 15 years old, and then I showed that to my classmates, and from that I was taken to competitions like Vision Inch competition, where you could win some prizes and everything, and we won a couple of prizes. The company that helped us, they asked us, so me and Florian, a friend who was also there, if we don't want to join them in their team and make the software and hardware for them. And that's what we did. At the beginning we got like 15 euros an hour, and then later on I got like 40 euros per hour even, which leads to a lot of money. So I programmed there in pure basic and C++. I made the UI interfaces and everything, and after time I got better and better, and after the years my salary was increasing. And then with these projects I was able to even go to other companies, and then I got like 60 euros, 55 euros, and finally like 70, 75 euros per hour. I would also advise you to just ask if you could enhance their website, for example, because everyone needs their website and it's always a pain, to make these things. Or if you could just program a 3D simulation or a virtual reality tour or something, because it's not that difficult, it's super easy in Unity. If you do a 2 weeks tutorial, then you can make a super awesome 3D tour that works even on the web, on the internet. Then they can share this tour to other people, to customers. They can present their 3D products, and you could just send this presentation like online, you could host it online and then send it. Number 2, be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is somebody who first sees a problem and then solves it with a solution, like a software. Try to find out what problems the specific company you are targeting has, and then solve these problems with a software. You could then go to that company and show them your solution, ask them for money or even for a monthly payment. For example, if your solution helps them to achieve like 10,000 euros a year in more income, then you could sell it for $10,000 or $20,000 at once. Or why don't you just give me like 1,000 per month? For example, one of our customers wanted to show his fitness studio to his customers, to his potential customers. But the studio is so big and huge and very luxurious that he couldn't just grab it and bring it to his potential customers. So what he did is he just showed them pictures. But pictures are like, they're over-optimized and they're just pictures. So what we then did for him was we created a virtual reality simulation of that. I think I put the link down there for the project. And then he could use an Oculus Go, a standalone VR headset, or the Oculus Rift, where we produced a special suitcase for him. In this suitcase there was all the hardware inside and everything. And with this Oculus Go he could just show the customer the whole studio and he could walk through it by himself, which is awesome. And they paid a lot of money. So software like that is about 80,000 euros, which is a lot of money. And it takes like probably, I don't know, 4 months or something to make this if you're good and if you have a team. This is a huge improvement for the studio. Number 3. Writing your own apps. I think we already saw the most efficient ways of earning a lot of money in a very short amount of time. Number 3 now is the even more entrepreneurial part. It's like business to customer. You sell something to an end customer. You create your own apps, and these apps you can sell on an app store. Here it's where it becomes tricky. In the past, apps were like super new, and only even small programmers like one-man shows could create awesome apps and sell them on the app store, and became suddenly kind of rich, let's say, yeah. Like Flappy Bird, for example. Nowadays, these games are produced by huge corporations, and unless you do something totally new, you might not have really a chance. So even the best apps on the App Store are all from huge corporations: Google, Facebook, Amazon, Instagram. So it's difficult to compete here. And if you make just the second best app, for example, for a torchlight, then the chances are very good that you get only 10 or 20% of all the downloads. And then the chance is very good that you do not make the second best app, but maybe the 100th best app out there. So making an app for Android or iOS is probably something old school at the moment. It's not disruptive anymore. Disruptive means that the big companies cannot compete with you because they already have their market. And if they would switch to this market, the disruptive market, then they would actually fight against their own customers because they don't want to do this. They don't want to get, for example, a VR software when they're used to smartphones. You just have to walk around with a VR headset and ask people to take it on. The old people will not do it, or they wouldn't buy a VR software at the moment. They don't have a headset. We will probably discuss disruption soon. This disruption is very important for small companies. Just so much to be said, there are business models that are already proven, and then there are business models that are not proven at all. You don't know which market you have, you don't know who are the customers, you don't know anything about that. You just make something, you try out to find the proper customers, and you find the market. So if you have an existing market, then you only have to execute. You already know exactly what is the outcome, how much percentage of revenue will you have, and everything, what you have to do to make a good product. But therefore you need a lot of money, like millions of dollars. And that's what we don't have. That's what startups do not have. A lot of people thought that XR and VR is the big next thing, and it still is. So as long as nobody has virtual reality headsets, or not so many people, VR or augmented reality even is the future. There's not so much competition on it. So you could try to make your own VR app or game, for example. However, we did program a computer game. It was a normal computer game, and it did download about 200 times. It's Game of Thrones. You can see it in the background probably. And this, of course, did not pay off so much. Huge corporations that made way bigger and better games for like 50 or 60 million dollars were competing with us, and we only spent like $50,000 or maybe 100 if you count all this time. I hope that helped you. Stay tuned and don't forget to like and subscribe, and also learn to program. And if you want to, learn to be an entrepreneur and how to make solutions where other people are willing to pay money for. Everything else is waste. Happy coding, happy checking, TechChecker.